We're gonna do something a little different today. As you can see, we're gonna start out with Mechanic Simulator. I've seen a lot of videos of this. It's a game I personally really enjoy, and learned the game enough. I've played it enough to where I can kind of show it in a competent manner. But anyways, we're gonna be restoring a very unique car today. 1929 Lincoln. And it is a mod. You can find it in the Steam store, and got a lot of unique pieces to it. The way it is done is really nice. So let's go ahead and get to the game. Um, sure, we're just going to do. So here it is, the 1929 Lincoln. It's in really good condition. It was a barn find. Um, so go ahead and show the me first try barn of the day. This thing pops up, which is really nice. But so yeah, let's go ahead and get to work with this because it's really unique. I like it. Um, it's really cool how it is done on the chassis and everything. A lot of these cars, I know the GTO here can be taken all the way down to the frame, and a lot of these cars cannot be done that way. At least the ones that came with the games, you know, straight downloaded. You can see V6, it's all right. I think way too much power for this car, but okay. But I'm just going to start by disassembling the entire body, taking everything off of it. Um, why that's called a trunk, but okay. On hood, be nice. Get the hood off, headlights off, front end off, fenders off, everything. Let's just go ahead and disassemble this thing absolutely as far as it can be assembled. When I do a restoration on this game, I like to be able to literally restore each and every. And you'll see why I say this is really unique, because most cars in this, like I said, you can't take it all the way down. And this, you can take every bit of everything off. Go ahead and get to the interior, disassemble. Get the steering wheel out, everything out. And as you can see, we're left with a frame. Let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air. A really unique car. Really nice to see how it's going to be all done and taken apart and everything. I'm going to take this fuel tank off because it just... The game is super nice, but I'm not going to say it's the most realistic in the world, because as you can see, these leaf springs aren't even attached anywhere. But for people who don't know much about cars, how it's supposed to look in real life. You just float there with magic. Anyways, go and get the exhaust off and just get this thing tore down as far as I can get it tore down. That's my goal here. This shouldn't be that long of a video. If it is, I apologize. But that's all I want to do. Go ahead and take it down and get to the engine bay. I have heard there is supposed to be a port of this game to console. And when I bought this, I had actually just bought my Xbox One, and I was like, oh, should I get it for the computer? I'm glad I got it for computer, because it still yet has to come out, which is really annoying. Everything's out of the engine bay, so let's go ahead and pull this engine out. Got our engine puller here, and pull this in. I wish in real life it was this easy. Pull out an engine. Of course, I gotta remove the gearbox. Yeah, that would be brain fart. So I will be doing a restoration on this. I'm gonna try to leave everything as stock as possible. Get everything. I'm not going to do crazy rims or, or unrealistic tires or anything like that, which you can do in this game, which is really fun. I had the go-kart mod for a little bit, and that was really interesting. I put massive, huge tires on it, and like, but the problem is when you do go to drive it, it just you hit the accelerator, you just start doing circles. So there's no way to control it. Highly unrealistic, but it's funny to see. Oh, I don't want to take. Of course I did that. Of course I did that. Go ahead and pull this engine. There it is. Put it on the stand, and damage is done. Add engine. We'll hope. Rotate it the right way around. Nice. And here it is. Like we're missing quite a few parts off of this. Missing the head cover there. A fan in the front. Yeah. But what I'm going to do first before I get into that engine is I'm going to go over here to the repair bench and repair all that I can. Be nice when you have all your stuff 100% because like most everything was successfully repaired. And before I start really tearing into the engine, I'm going to go ahead and take apart the body. Then we'll start getting to the game. Assuming everyone who's watching this video has seen this game before. If not, it's fun. It really is. It can get kind of tedious at some points, but if you love cars, you love working on them, and you want to be able to work on cars that you would never get your hands on in real life, this is definitely the way to go. It does give you the feeling of working on a car. I've done that enough in my day to know. I love the sound effects. I mean, just listen how clean it sounds. I mean, even putting the bolts into the toolbox, you can hear. Nice, nice, very satisfying. Let's go ahead and jack this up. You have to progressively get to where you increase your garage and your space and all that and your tools, and it would be really nice if they really grindy enough, but it'd be really cool to see like really what it would look like to come from like rags to riches, where like you're working in your driveway, you don't have a shop at all, and limitations of that. That would be kind of nice or kind of cool to see. I wouldn't call it nice, but it'd be cool to see. You had to use a hand jack instead of a car lift, and you'd have to put it up on blocks. All the stuff that real backyard mechanic would have to worry about, and then you'd work your way into a shop and then into this. That's about the only complaint in the progression I have. I like to see what I'm upgrading in games, so to be able to see, you go from a driveway to a shop to having a car lift to having an engine lift. The old ghetto way of doing it is lifting an engine out with a tree, just pulleys and chains and stuff. That would be kind of cool. At least where I'm from, that's the ghetto way of doing it. But yeah, just piece by piece, you really get to see how a car is put together, and some of this is very realistic. A really good job on this game to be able to take individual part out. Like I actually had to do the front axles and stuff on my car, and when I was holding the piece in my hand, the new piece, and I looked at it on here, I was like, wow, that's really spot on. The difference is not all cars are completely different like they would be in real life. In real life you've got the wheel, there's different versions of the parts, but they're much different. But still, for what the game, for the amount of detail in this game, can't complain, and it's really phenomenal the work that they did on this. A lot of glitches when it first came out, and I think that's why I've waited so long to afford myself playing this game. Been a craze for a while. It's not the newest game on the face of the planet, but with as many glitches as there were, and things that just, inventory systems being weird and all of that, really wasn't worth putting a whole lot of time into. I saw in the comments one time where I guess a parent was messaging developers that his kid had spent a ridiculous amount of hours on restoring cars and learning them and was really excited, and then he goes to his game and everything's just gone. You know, when you get older and you're used to gaming, you're used to that. But as a kid, I can't imagine, being a kid and being so proud of learning how to do it, and then all of a sudden you wake up and it's just gone. Ah, that's a real rough way to learn a lesson. I mean, it's a game. Come on, you're not supposed to have to learn hard life lessons, but um, all of you out there that was like, learned how to live life from video games, they're out there. But I had a friend who his mom hated him playing video games. Kind of accused him of being caught up in a fantasy world all the time. That kid learned more from video games than he would have ever learned in school and all the other stuff. I mean, I'm really glad to see that the stigma around video games, games in general, have changed. Oh, how has it changed? If we would have known back in the day that there was this thing called YouTube that would have came out, where we could have played games and made it our job. Oh boy, the the responses we would have had for adults about getting onto us for playing games. All those teachers were out playing playing video games. Yeah, I was. More money than you do doing it. That would be nice to get that level. But that's one thing. If you're not a YouTuber and you don't make content, you don't realize how much work really does go in. It's not just about playing video games. It really does thrive off the comments, off of responses and views. And my channel is not very high, but personally in my life, I work with media, so this isn't my only experience and interaction with doing. But I can't imagine doing the job that I do and not being able to see the reactions that really get reached by media, and it's just really important to have that proper. Anyways, my rant is done here. Let's go ahead and repair this frame. We've got it all stripped down. Now that I've gone through and I've ranted about all this, let's go ahead and use this. Equipment, yes, it will cost $1,000. And whoa, what do you know? A brand new, beautiful frame. If only it was that easy. Only it was that easy. Boy, wouldn't that be great? All right, now that we've got this torn completely down, and like I said, I think this is the only car you can really break down this far, and really see it piece by piece get built. So let's move our engine crate. Train it'll take a while. The question here is, do I want to go ahead and build the engine, or do I want to go ahead and build the chassis? At least let's tear down the engine so we know we have everything tore down, and then I'll figure out if I feel like dealing with rebuilding it at the moment, depending on what engine. Because some of them are a lot more tedious than others. And plus I can go ahead and take all of the parts and put them on the workbench and repair what I can. Having to piece by piece, ordering the parts and everything, which is really cool about this game. The web interface on it is really realistic too. What real parts website? Yeah, this is one. This is one of those in every rocker arm, I think I'm going to be cutting that part out when I have to install them all. That's really... See how it gets taken apart, and I will save you all the pain watching me put it back together piece by piece afterwards. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely very realistic to the engine. The only thing is that as much as I said it was tedious to put all those parts together, you don't get to touch the valve springs at all. They aren't a part in any of the engines. Some of these engines you don't have to do the push rods individually, but you never, and no matter what the engine it is, you never get to take off the valve spring part of the head, which important part that you have to part if you're taking part of a real car. So That was just one extra thing they thought was too. Which I can see it. It is a game. This isn't like a training program for a real mechanic, so I can understand that. And again, I'm going to do this all stock. I'm not going to be using performance parts. I'm not going to be using any of the upgrades. I'm going to put it together the way it is, completely stock, completely the way if you could somehow buy this car brand new off the showroom, you're going to get. Well, that worked out really beautifully. I really have to remember how to do that next time. Go ahead and spin this engine around. Fan. Another thing you have to worry about with this game is gaskets. Those can be a headache, and definitely. Put it on and pinches it or something like that, and you get a leak. Now that can be frustrating. I had a valve cover on a Honda. That little rubber grommets had to go around the spark plug. I don't know, ports, what you want to call them, shafts. I don't know technical name. But it was nearly impossible to get that to really go around it properly. Definitely. Here we are taking apart each individual piece, and you do actually get to see the inner workings of the, which is nice. I remember before I bought the game, I watched so many people play this game. I was just intrigued by it, unlike any I had seen. I had to get. I ended up pawning my laptop to get the game to play it. Wasn't that expensive, so I mean, it was like, okay, I just didn't have the money at the time, so why not? I was very impatient. Why is this not coming off now? Oh, you gotta take the belt off. Thought I had my curl. So, and that another thing this game really does show that's really accurate is, you know, taking things off in the correct order, and that's really important with cars because, you know, if you're trying to take one piece off, you gotta take off 6 different pieces to get to that one piece. And depending on the car model, a lot of the older cars are just why a lot of people like the older cars. They're just to work on, but especially with like new interiors and stuff, like this piece has to lay over that piece, so on and so forth. Alright, almost got this tore down. The reason I'm tearing all this down is I can get to I can tell which ones I need to buy new. And I mean, I could technically just go out and order each one of these pieces, build a new engine from scratch. I could do that, and I have actually never done that before. I just find it really annoying. Better just go ahead and have the parts on hand. Put it back together. And it really gives you that sense of, you know, storing the car instead of just buying all new stuff. And oh yeah, stuff. I love how there's a bearing cap, but you never get to put get to put the bearings in. Kind of annoying, but whatever. Guess there's only so much you can fit into a game, right? But I was talking about earlier, the shop progression. How I wish that you start out in the driveway and you would work your way up from a hand jack to a car lift to all that. One of the really cool things though is they did add later on the ability to like change the floor and like the doors and different things, which is really cool. That I appreciate, but it wasn't part of the upgrade. It was like something you could kind of makes you appreciate the different options a lot less if you don't have to unlock them. There's like it's kind of like putting God mode on a game. You lose the appreciation for the game itself. Let's go back over here to the bench and let's repair everything that can be repaired. I'm just going to click through quickly. And whenever you hear the clunk, it means a part's been failed. Like that right there. That was a failed part that was not able to be repaired. Like that one right there, the big clunk, and sounds like you dropped something. Yeah. That one clumped for real, for sure. Goodness, so many parts. So many parts. Probably click faster than I can push a button. Definitely. Well, now you know what you have to look forward to, seeing putting all these parts back up. I'm going to see if I have engine. Yep, it did restore the engine block, and I'm gonna actually hold off on building the engine. And get back to the chassis, trying to mix it up and not just focus on one place so much. Let's go ahead and see suspension wise. I know we're gonna have to pull the forks off and all that. Not the forks, but the springs with the spring decompressor and all that. Let's see what we can actually put on now without having to order new parts. Yep, got a new one stock. Housing B. Have to order. Oh no. Wanted the 100%. But everything I know I have new one, and then worry about order. I'm just so satisfying to see rusty junk. Nice new shiny car. Retro Rim 13. I'll have to de-tire those, take them off. I know we're missing that axle housing right there. Put that. I know I have the parts for this. Go ahead and put that on there. Alright, definitely coming together a lot better than I thought it would. The car was basically complete. It was a barn find, so it was really nice to see bushings are important. So annoying when you think you got the entire car together, go to start it, and it'll start, and you're like, yeah, I got it. And then you go to try to take it to the track, and it's like, you're missing bushing. It won't let you, if you are missing a single clip or a single bushing or anything like that, it will not even let you take it out of the shop. Which, you know, I can understand, but still really annoying. And on this piece. Alright, there we go. Alright, so rear suspension is put together. Nice and shiny. Something really also unrealistic about the game is you can put parts on that would just float otherwise. So, yep. And see, it's not attached to anything. It's just floating there. Okay. Nice and shiny. Don't have that. Alright, well there is the back. All nice and done. I'm just going to go ahead and order that one. What do I need? Rear axle housing. Shop. Duck. Search. Housing. Pretty close. Yep. Oh. Really, I'm making this video for one person in particular. They saw me playing this and don't have a computer able to run it, so for their viewing pleasure. I think he goes by the username of Will Farm. If you're watching this, Will Farm, this one's for you. Alright, so we got all the back suspension and everything. I'm going to go ahead and take the tires off the rims and see if we can see if we can restore them. See what this does. It will let us, I know it won't let us restore the tires, but maybe the rims, that would be really cool. Take off. Yes, it will. Hey, what do you know? It will actually let us do that. All right, cool. So, separate more out. Here and repair. Oh, what tire? There. Go ahead and go to our inventory and tire this. Alright, yeah, there it is. Vintage wall tire B. We're looking for a 135 80R by 20. Alright, vintage wall tire B. That's it. Yep, that is it. Wall tire. And you have different shops here. Do. No, it was 20. Not let me do. Well, since I can't get the proper measurements, what am I have to put on? Pull it on there and see what happens. 13. Doesn't look right. Definitely not it. Don't know how they made it look that way, and gotta be something with them all odd. So, well, I thought I wasn't going to do anything crazy and weird with the rims, but I guess I'm gonna have to. Well, tires take forever. Only had 2 tires for it, so let's go and put those back on the car. All of this. No items to work with. I mean, there's no items to work with. I literally. Oh, you gotta balance them. That's right. Have to balance them. Balance. Work. Oh, wrong on there. I guess the only way to really keep the original tires would be to put on the old ones. That wouldn't be a full right rim, is it? That does. I think these are the wrong tires. Wrong rims, I think. We're gonna wait on that. Alright, so here back at the car. Let's go ahead and start working on the front. We're just going to put on all the parts that we have 100% for. Alright, coming together very nicely. We have one brake disc. Okay. That kind of front sway bar B. Have that. That in. Why am I missing? Oh yeah, you gotta have this. Arm with pushing. Really quick. And this is the part that we don't have. Okay, we gotta get new that. That's another annoying bit. So the part for that is double wish. Both of our stuff that. Double. Excuse me there. One, the other one, we got those. Actually, springs as well. And front spring one. And then cap. Pretty sure it's front, yep, front shock absorber cap. Go ahead and make twin parts, double wishbone with the front spring cap. Stuff all slowly working there. Again, double wishbone with the cap. There it is. Allowing it out. Take those. Code. Part mount. All nice and shiny in it. Steering rack. Racks and stock. Tie rod. Outer tie rod. That's it. That side. Our bushing then. Not having that wonderful climactic moment of being able to take this thing to the track and then pushing. So make sure to get them all in there. Last one right here. I'm gonna end up staying that, and well, I'll forget it. All right, yep. Front knuckle, front axle knuckle cover, front wheel hub, parts, bearing, cap. I think we're straight disc. That vent. I'm out of those. I'm just gonna buy a whole lot of them. Part obviously a lot. Having to constantly buy parts. Pads, caliper. Inner tie rod. Tie rod. Ooh, no. I'm out of bushing. Buy a whole lot of. You have to put. Why? Buy a lot of them. Buy them all. Back to work. Much better, 100%. I'm really curious to see how much this car is worth after you record all. I know there's some cars that just work unrealistic amount of money. There's even a way you can put together a jet and yeah, like an F-16 fighter jet. That would be an interesting video. I'd like to do that one. All right, so it looks like our suspension is all put together. Most of our exhaust is put together. A lot of the chassis is put together. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the first of this restoration. Again, it's looking good. Part 2, we will continue, finish up with the chassis, maybe put the body together, and then in part 3, we'll have the building of the engine, first test start, and the drive. So I hope you all have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed making it. Leave comments down below what you think, how you think it would be, what you'd like to see me do next, all that kind of good stuff. And as always, have a wonderful day, and I hope this has been as enjoyable for you as it has been for me.